Four repugnanicans, four of them today voted against the make it into law that transgenders can't serve in the military. Now, I think one was Fitzpatrick, one was Lawler, it was some little old lady, and I forgot the other guy's name. Anybody with common sense, if you watch that little dude with the blue hair that wigged out on the police officer when he called him by the wrong name, and then you always have, it was a video before that, it was another guy, I think he was in a store, and the guy said ma'am and he went off. Then I saw a video last week in Denny's over here in Northeast DC. It was one of them big old misshapen thing arguing with this guy, and the guy wasn't even really being, but he was just trying to tell him calm down, but they get wigged out. So when your mind is jacked up already and you're on medication, then you add in, if they feel like you don't call them by the right pronoun or by their name that they want to be called, you're going to be called by the name that's presented, your government name. So when you got to deal with all of that, who wants to deal with that in the military? Your focus in the military is to be fight ready and to be able to protect and defend. You can't protect and defend if you miss your medicine, and then all of a sudden it throws you off, or your mind. You know how people's mood or different things change when you don't take your medicine. They say you suicidal or you this, that, and the other. And who wants to be bothered with people preoccupied with their sexuality? See, before, didn't nobody know, because didn't nobody care, because it wasn't all thrown up in everybody's face. But when you throw stuff in people's faces and you make that the only thing that you are, it's a problem, because you can't lead anything or do anything without taking into account your so-called specialness. Nobody has time for that. That was the wrong vote. So those four Democrat aligned or Democrat adjacent beings are stupid, and something has to be done. Just like they say, a lot of people, you got the Republican in name only, then you got some people, they just, fiscally conservative, what they call themselves. We need straight conservatives to be acting on things that make sense. Make sense. Not all this foolishness that's going on. So I don't know what the next move is going to be. I hope they can bring the vote again. I don't know. But something needs to be done. Because honestly, you should not be able to serve. That's just like me hopped up on, I got my BBL done, so now I'm going to work in the military. So if I have some type of, if it go flat or something go wrong, I'm going to be worried about that instead of worried about, come on. And this is how all this stuff works in tandem to make us weaker and less functioning and easier to take over. Now I'm going to stay on the tranny thing for a minute, because I saw some man up there in New Jersey, funny looking. He looked like one of them birds from Heckle and Jekyll. No, Heckle and Jekyll wasn't really ugly, but he was shaped like Heckle and Jekyll. And he looked like a bald eagle. But he went to a pool where children are. Inappropriate looking. You a man. And the parents rightfully said something to him. This is the crap that the Democrats are setting up and have set up. When you tell grown men that basically want to fondle your children, because we're going to keep it a whole stack. Because it ain't no reason why you as a grown man are going to dress like that around children. Unless you want the children. You know children going to be looking, they curious. What the... Like, I know a lot of people like to pretend like they so smart, but are you really smart? And Lord knows, do you really know Jesus? Because you don't. It makes no sense. Why would you subject children to anything like that? That's just like the fools that was at the rodeo or wherever they were at a couple of months ago. Where y'all anyway? With your butt cheeks hanging out. Women that... Sorry, I keep saying women. Because I think with a certain age you should... Females that dress with their booty cheeks hanging out. If you want to do that at the club... whatever, that's fine. But when you're around children and you have children around, your butt cheeks should not be hanging out. Little boys and little girls don't need to see that. Little boys don't need to be looking, because then when they looking, it's going to be, oh, why you looking at their butt? It's there. Little girls don't need to think that that's how they need to look when they go outside. So now you got these inappropriate dressed individuals, and they do it all the time. Like you see them, these little pride parades they have, and you got people out there with their kids. Why are you subjecting kids to that? Because they intend on, if they not already, they intend on making a move on your children. Adults, if you want to do that, you go to an adult pool. You know, go where there's kids around. You go to a private pool party with no children around. A man should have beat his ass down. That's what needs to start happening. And unfortunately, depending on where you live, like in D.C., Maryland, Virginia, they probably lock you up. Because we got too many democrats in this area. You got the ones that are stupid and demonic enough with Satan to think that stuff is normal. And then you got the ones that are so worried about not being able to be called or lined up with these people. I don't care if I don't line up with you. I don't want to line up with you because there's something wrong with you. For even allowing this crap to just become such the issue that it is. And the fact that children are confused now. So this man wanders his tail to a pool. But that's y'all's fault for supporting these people all the time, no matter what. It's no line with you people whatsoever. And then you got the sorry repugnanicans, like the four that voted, that uphold this garbage. Why? Because if you're a closeted freak, you need to go ahead on and go on and switch. You need to go ahead on. You need to go on over there. I'm sick of it. Just like with all this, you see these niggas now with the socialism thing, the socialism push. You see what their agenda is. They have unveiled it. A bunch of sick. Most of all, most of these kids, most of them that are in head of the DSA, all rich kids. Why? They got the money for this to go wrong. Broke individuals that are already broke. So you trading your birthright and everything else for some porridge for right now and for later, because all you're gonna be having is porridge. You're not gonna have the opportunity that often to have the abundance of steaks and things that you all like to do, because your income and stuff is going to be set. First of all, it ain't gonna be no businesses. When government takes over an industry, look at the post office. The post office should have been privatized a long time ago. When the government is running something beyond protecting the citizens and ensuring that people are able to do business, they don't run it well. It's too much red tape, because you got to have this person do this and then that person has to do that. It's like an assembly line. Assembly lines work better though, because when somebody's not there, the plausible deniability in the government environment I'm so tired. of this foolishness with this transgender stuff. I really am. But again, like I said, people have bought it. They have traded God for it. All because they want to fit in. All because you want to make sure you can party or be at the cookout. If you that pressed to be at a cookout, you need to learn how to have your own cookout and celebrate yourself. Because being a part of everything is not a good look. All money ain't good money, and being a part of everything is not meant to be. The main group you need to be concerned about being with is God's people. But no, y'all ain't even worried about that. So they running around here jacking up everything, making everything about sexuality and this, that, and the other. When you have a job to do, your job is your job. Don't nobody care about your sexuality. That's not a job requirement or a job skill. And at this point, it's repugnant. Because when you act like that, when all you have is your sexual identity, you're not about doing nothing other than that. So you'll be a problem in the workplace. I wouldn't advise nobody to hire you. Because you're not going to do the job the way it needs to be done. You're going to be looking for things as to why you offended by something. A lot of you are not hireable. And it's not this, and it could be, the only discrimination we're going to call it? Bullnose related. Because if you're adjacent to the bullnose ring wearers that we know are problematic and have the skittled hair and all that stuff, and some people are not even that lame-brained. But because that's what most of the lame-brained people that have all these taught issues and need to wig out on everything because you weak and simple-minded, courtesy of the classrooms for the large part, and some homes too, because we see stupid women running around here like the little silly woman asking her kids about being this gender, that, like, what? Yeah, but that's y'all fault. And put that right where it belongs. Because I never signed up for any of this nonsense, and I never will. I will never support any candidate on that BS. Because when you go against God, everything else is a wrap. You don't get no blessings in that at all. You make your children a target. You make yourself a target. You make everybody a target. And you all have made this nation and the children a target because you want to keep going against God. Ain't nothing going to be affordable because you got a bunch of idiots that are allowing people that don't have no right to no money, no taxpayer, nothing, no election, no nothing, don't even live here. But they have accounted for them in their budgets. So that's money that's going to them, being used up, doing defense and legal funds and all that, and giving them housing and free education, free college, in-state tuition, or all this other little stuff that they've been getting from different cities and states. And you think that that's... And then the other thing, the caveat. I remember in Ohio, it was a couple of people that were talking about how they were getting put out of places, they landlords, and then all of a sudden you got a bunch of foreigners. When you know that the government is going to guarantee your rental payment, they have purposely, in a lot of these sanctuary cities, driven up the cost. And a lot, they know that they paying a certain amount. When you know the government is going to pay XYZ amount for these people that they done brought over here through that border, yeah, y'all don't think, anybody think about anything beyond what they put out? I'm so sick of hearing affordability. If I hear that crap one more time, I'm like, affordability? How? When you keep giving money away to people that's not, and have not put anything into the system. And then in this area, especially Maryland, y'all need to be concerned. Your tax base is shrinking. because people are leaving. The economy in Maryland is terrible because they're not making it easy or conducive for businesses to do business because you keep filing on all these fees. So how you supposed to do payroll and make a living yourself or even hire people with the burdens that you put on people? And then want to keep creating tax for this, that, and the other. That paint tax was crazy. And then as it came out, it goes to a non-profit that ain't even registered in Maryland. The next video is going to be, again, about the state of education. Because y'all need to wake your behinds up and start. If you really care about your children, you better make sure that they're getting educated. And you better put them in the school that best does education best. Not indoctrination. Because we got enough indoctrinated, weak-minded, stupid kids being set up for subsidies. It's all by design. And if you don't see it, you a fool.